Hello. Okay, so we are good to go for qualifying. So we have 17 drivers here today. We are expecting 19, and we may have some as a few disconnect from the lobby. I don't know if that's a problem. They can rejoin, so we'll just wait to see if they do. But we will get our telemetry stuff out. Yep. First out on track, racing in Tier 2 yesterday is Kiwa's Games. Alright, so that should be us. So, the winner of this last race was Lightning Luke 05. He won that in the McLaren, and right now he is currently in the AlphaTauri. Second place was Emilio 98 Robalino, the world champion, obviously, of CTCR. He is just out of pits now on his outlap. He has remained in the Red Bull. And then third place was DMC Ryan Aguirre, who is in the Williams and still in his garage. As we have everyone but 8 people out on track, so we have 9 people out on track at the moment. As Kiwa's Games goes onto his hot lap now. We'll have a quick run through this with him. Obviously a very disappointing display in Tier 2 last night. We'll see if anything different can happen today. So takes turn 1, fairly clean enough. Can't quite hit the apex, but still relatively clean. Up the gear as well. And relatively a fairly good first sector. He sets a 128.5. So if we go back down to Lucas Paul, who's about to finish his, what time will he set for the first sector? He sets a 128.2, which is 3/10 up on his teammate. Next will be Marshy, currently on his sector 1. 128.2 is what he has to beat, as he's invalidated it going out of turn 4. He set a 128.4. Kiwa's Games has kept his car fairly clean so far. Kept it out of trouble. He's doing everything right. As he goes round the final corner. And sets a 128.1. Lucas Paul up next across the line, 127.4. He could definitely improve on that. Next across the line is McBot to start his flying lap. Then it's Marshy, but he is already invalidated, so our eyes then switch to Michelangelo, who set a 105.7 in the middle sector. As he comes around the final corner. What time will he set on the board? DRS open to 127.5, just behind Lucas Paul. Next is the Aston Martin of Mixel. He is out. Jinxie, he crosses the line, 127.9. That puts him third fastest. Next is Random Kitty, who goes fifth fastest with a 131. And Emilio Robalino with a 127.9. As is that? It is. That's Michelangelo DNFing in the exact same place where Cosmic did yesterday. And as Randro sets a 126.3, And is that Jinxie spinning? No, he's just going slow. What has McBot got to say? He has been the quickest in the middle sector. 126.3 is the time to beat for FaZe McBot. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a 127.0, which puts him just behind. And is that someone else that spun? Beyond Jensen is off into the grass. As last race's race winner, Lightning Luke, sets a 128.3. There's yellow flags all over the place here. McBot's going slow. Randro is on an out lap. I don't think McBot is on a hot lap though. No, he's on a cool down lap. Is there complications here between? No, I don't think so. So DMC Ryan is on a flying lap as Victor Mean sets the fastest sector 1. There seems to be a bit of problem with the AlphaTauris down at turn 10. But we'll switch back to DMC Ryan because he is going around the final corner. That's not a good time at all from him. 134.9. Was someone off? Someone off? Don't think so. Randro's still on that out lap. McBot behind him on the in lap. Victor Mean sets the fastest middle sector as well. Is this going to be the fastest time of all? Drops it down to third for the final corner. And in the Alpine, it's not. It is going to be P3 though, which is a solid time from the Alpine driver. So I don't think anyone is out on a fast lap at the moment. As Beyond Jensen gets to the line and sets a 128.2, just ahead of his teammate. Maybe a little bit of rivalry going on between them two. McBot is definitely not up on his time. He's going to dive into the pit lane. Victor Mean will most likely do the same and does. As Randro, I think he's starting another flying lap. No. But no one else is on a flying lap at the moment, or maybe Twin Gene is. If so, it isn't a very quick one, and he hasn't validated it. As Ryan Curran has DNF'd. And that is a weird place to DNF. He must have lost a rear end or something. And he will be starting from the back of the grid. So Mixel still to set a proper lap time of 1:28.4 is not a bad first sector. As we ride on board with him, as there's not much people else to ride on board with. Oh, he just about keeps it on track there. Mixel has not set a competitive lap yet. What will this lap that he is currently on be? Opens DRS 1:28.5, puts him P12. Lucas Paul is on a lap and he is a 10th up on his time. As I hope he doesn't get held up by Jinxie. He's definitely getting in the dirty air of the McLaren. Although Jinxie's on a hot lap himself. Lucas Paul is just much quicker than him. Behind them is then McBot. As loses it, but hasn't got any damage. Well, at least that gets Lucas Paul out of the dirty air of Jinxie down this final back straight. As Phase McBot is on a lap time. Lucas Paul did improve. He went with a 1:27.01, which is 300ths quicker than McBot. But McBot himself is 3/10ths up on his time. So, and he's invalidated it. He's gone wide. It's not good at all. Mahershey is ever so slightly up on his time in the first sector. So a few people are in the pits. Lucas Paul is out early for his final flying lap. McBot is going straight on to another lap. Randro is still confident in staying on this current softs he is on. So McBot is starting his most likely final flying lap now. Randro is out of the pits. Jinx has just joined and is quickly getting out of the pits now. Random Kitty is 9/10 up on his time. This could be a good lap from the tier 2 commentator. We'll have to see. We'll look later on, but right now we'll switch to whoever that is at the front of the pack. I think it's Twin Gene, is it? It is, yes. Behind him is Lucas Paul. Jinxie is on a lap now as well. Jinxie's 4/10 up on his time. Now this could possibly put him in P5 for the race. We'll have to see as he comes to the final corner now. Shifts down to third. Gets up at the accelerator quite quickly. And Jinxie 02 goes P4 on the second row as a superb lap behind Emilio. He's not improving, but I'm sure he'll go straight into another flying lap after this. He did improve slightly and goes P9 as Random Kitty's 9/10 up lap puts him P10. McBot, his qualifying is finished, P3 at best. Lucas Paul is 1/10 up on his time in the first sector. He needs to make massive improvements in order to beat Rando, who's taking his sweet time to get onto his final flying lap. Someone's going slow. I think that's Mixel. No, Mixel is 1/10 up in his time. He crosses the line, goes P13. Rando is about to start his flying lap. Jinx did not make the cut to the line, so his qualifying is finished as his driver stays out. Twin Gene, will he make it in time to set another lap? DRS is activated. He's on mediums. He's going to try start on those. We'll see how well he can qualify, as he did make the line. So did, I think, Lucas Paul, was it? But he hasn't validated. So Lucas Paul, so that means Randro can abandon this lap, because I don't think anyone will improve enough to get pole. McBot is finished. Lucas Paul invalidated. Oh, Kiwis, don't hold him up. Don't hold him up. He is lagging all over the place, the Ferrari driver, and he's only on an out lap. Despite all that, Randro still improves and improves his time in P1. Victor Mean is 3/10 up on his time. This could be a decent enough lap from him. This could possibly put him P2 if it's good enough. We'll see. Victor Mean round the final corner. What will this lap time be? DRS opened. Victor Mean goes P2. Now I don't know if it's a glitch, because Lucas Paul still seems to be... No, he is finished. So Victor Mean has improved on the mall and gone P2. Kiwa's Games is still on a lap at the moment too. Mixel is on an in lap, I'm pretty sure. So the last one to check here at the moment is Kiwa's Games, who's 8/10 down. So this will be our qualifying grid for tomorrow's race. Randro 17 in P1 with a 126.2, a mega lap from him. Victor Mean in P2 with a 26.8. Lucas Paul 26.0 in P3 with FaZe McBot and Jinxie making a McLaren end of the second row and start of the third. Boat in the 127s. McBot with a 127.0 and Jinxie with a 127.2. Lightning Luke with a 127.3 with Bjorn Jensen a 127.4. Marshy 127.5. That's a decent lap from the tier 2 driver to put himself in P8. He obviously DNF'd not only in qualifying but the race yesterday. Emilio in P10 with a 127.5 and Michelangelo Emilio in P9 and Michelangelo in P10 has also with a 127.5. Those two split by only 4 thousandths. Then you have Twin G in 11th, Rando in 12th, Random Kitty in 13th, James in 14th, Mixel 15th, DMC Ryan 16th, Jinx 17th, and LOI Ryan Kern in 18th to wrap up the grid. I did not see anything, McBot. If you want to report something, you can report it after the race. I will put an investigation into it. So, Randro in the Mercedes leads us away on the formation lap. As we watch everyone get on the way, let me just get the track map up. Ooh, so Rando and Random Kitty is disqualified. I'm going to have footage for that. Everything else is very smooth. Brains. Only 5 people watching here as the race starts. Mixel just lacking a bit behind. He's going to have to catch up a bit. Obviously, can't be within 10 car lengths. Has to be within 10 car lengths. So, any questions, quickly throw them in now, because we are about to get going as Kiwa's Games. Yeah, he has to get a bit of an internet warning. He is all over the place at the moment. Here we go. Everyone is lined up. Here we go. to 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix here in Tier 1. It's lights out and away we go. It's a decent start. The Alpine of Victor Meehan is not so great for him. He has lost places. McBott's going to go for a dive into turn 1. Randro keeps it. McBott gets P2 and Lucas Paul gets up into P3 as there's yellow flags behind, and I think that's Ryan Curran and Kiwa's Games who have crashed, as everything seems okay at the front. Randro gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, probably from exceeding track limits, as McBott goes down the inside and they've touched. Is that damage for FaZe McBott? I don't think so. There might be minor, but he gets from P4 up to P2 and is trying his best to get P1. Randro defends him off and keeps P1 away from FaZe McBott. Lucas Paul just in behind. He's an angry driver, obviously, since the incident at Brazil last season. Ryan Curran is at the back. I think he may have wing damage. Otherwise, everything is so far so good. No one has crashed out. No one, I don't think, has wing damage, but we'll see now as Ryan Curran spins going into turn 12. And nobody is into the pit lane, but Jinxie is dropping back huge places. Did he have a little bit of a tangle with Twin Gene? So Marshy is in the pit lane. Same with Michelangelo, Random Kitty, Mixel, Rando, Twin Gene and Kiwa's Game. So there's still a lot of movement in the pit lane. And the Aston Martins are double stacking. That is not good. That is not good at all. For Rando was taken, and LOI Ryan Curran goes through all of them in the pits and takes P11. So far it's a magnificent start for Jinx. He's gone up 10 places. Emilio, the championship winner last year, has gone up 1, as McBott and Randro are really front wing to a gearbox here, going through every single corner of this track. It's very close between the two of them. He's got the best start out of everyone. Victor Meehan didn't get a good getaway at all. As is that Jinxie going for one on DMC, Ryan Aguirre. They go side by side. Jinxie gonna try to switch back here. This could be an excellent move from Jinxie, and he gets it done. That is a lovely overtake. As long as, yep, DMC Ryan too far back, that's gonna be nothing. Is that Rando or is that Mixel? Mixel has lost it. He's gone onto the hard and he's lost it here. But we'll switch back to FaZe McBott and Randro as they're going side by side for the race lead here. Down into turn 1. McBott late on the brakes. Randro trying to stick with him. He is able to stick side by side and is going to keep this side by side all the way down into turn 4. But McBott has got a car length in front. But Randro is still going to try stick one round the outside. He goes wide. I think he just about kept at least one wheel on the track there. But McBott gets the lead here into turn 4. An excellent move as Lucas Paul has joined the party. Same with Victor Meehan. He didn't get a great start, but he's definitely catching up now and building a bit of a gap between him and last season's race winner of Lightning Luke. But McBott has the lead here in Bahrain. As Mixel gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As there's a yellow flag, it is DMC Ryan having a spin down at turn 3. But he has gotten back up eventually as Lucas Paul. I missed that. He spun! Oh, and he's crashed into Randro. Are they out? They both are out. No, Randro is. Lucas Paul gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision and then crosses the white line on the pit lane entry and has severe wing damage as the safety car is out. That is massive. Wow. two people tipped to win this race. One goes out of the Grand Prix, and Lucas Paul gets severe wing damage. We'll have to see who was at fault. Was Lucas Paul being a bit too audacious, or was maybe McBot in the fault for spinning Lucas Paul into Randro? We'll have to see. That will definitely be under investigation after the race. But so far, Lucas Paul had to come into the pit lane and get a wing change, and he will come out in P8 just ahead of Marshy. Not great news for McBot, because he is stuck behind the safety car, and Lucas Paul has caught up onto mediums. So we will have to see with that. Lucas Paul should not be typing in chat. McBot is coming into the pit lane. He wants to get onto the mediums. That gives Lucas Paul quite the advantage here. Now Emilio and Beyond Jensen has actually got the best advantage out of all. He is already on the mediums and he's in P1 at the moment. Okay, so while all the drama all the controversy So Emilio Robolino gets a 3-second penalty for a collision with Bjorn Jensen, as the safety car is in this lap. So here we go. Bjorn Jensen has control on when he goes. Oh, Emilio has a red wing. He's completely screwed out of this race. Bjorn Jensen goes. Michelangelo in P2 goes after him. Emilio into the pit lane. And Bjorn Jensen done very well there. Everything seems fairly clean. There's just a few people into the pit lane. Everything clean so far on the getaway. McBaugh is slowly making his way through the pack. He's going to try go around the outside of Ryan Curran. Just much better grip. He gets past. As we look at the tyre wear, McBaugh, even despite the safety car, still maybe in a decent position at the moment. As long as he gets by Random Kitty and Marshy as quickly as possible. It's Bjorn Jensen, and Bjorn Jensen I think is spun there. He has. He's completely gone out and he's taken Lucas Paul with him. Lucas Paul I think has just been took up by the incident between Bjorn Jensen and Michelangelo. Bjorn Jensen went flying out. Lucas Paul came with him. And in the end, I think Lucas Paul came out worse. He's down to P13. Bjorn Jensen's at least got himself back into some sort of battle. And at the moment, everything is going well for FaZe McBaugh as he chases down Marshy in the Mercedes. Marshy defending well for Michelangelo out in front. So now McBaugh will line one up on Marshy. DRS is enabled this lap, so if he doesn't get it down into turn 1, he'll definitely get it down into turn 4. But I say he will line one up down the inside. No, he just slots in behind for now. Going down into turn 1. Marshy, oh, bit of oversteer, loses a bit of the rear end. McBaugh lines it up. DRS is active, which Marshy does not have, as he's 2 seconds behind Michelangelo. But again, that straight just isn't long enough for McBaugh to get the move, and Marshy is doing a great job of holding him up here from Michelangelo ahead. Emilio sets the fastest lap as he came into the pit lane for softs, as down the inside goes McBaugh into turn 8. It's a lovely move and Marshy could not do anything about it. Into P2 now. Ooh, I think Marshy may have given him a little bit of a nudge. He's in the podium places now, Marshy, so the pressure is on him as he has DRS and is gaining on McBaugh. Is he going to go for a re-overtake? No, McBaugh defends well round the outside. But Marshy is staying right beside him here, and he is not giving up. Oh, but that's a poor entry there into turn 13. But then again, he is still catching up. Both have very limited ERS. Oh, Marshy touching the back of McBot every single time, as he's going to try overtake him now. DRS active. We'll switch to McBot's camera angle, because that one from Marshy was poor. Marshy gets the move done, back up into P2. But McBot, of course, has the DRS. Be right on board as he opens DRS. But it's too far away, and so far everything is going well for the Haas of Michelangelo. He's done nothing at all in this race of notice, and is just cruising out in front. So Ferrari have not got off to a good start at all in either of the standings, whether it's Tier 1 or Tier 2. And, well, Lucas Paul's incident there up beyond Jensen does not help him at all. As we go back to the battle everyone wants to watch, it's Marshy and McBot as Jinxie and Beyond Jensen having a right go at each other. Jinxie just a bit too far back. So there's a yellow flag into Sector 2. It's DMC Ryan who's gone off. Jinxie has the fresh soft, so he should breeze by these guys fairly easily. McBot is catching on Marshy again. This time DRS on the main straight should help him a lot more. But of course, Marshy has DRS down into turn 4. Will he line one up again to try and defend his position? He's thinking of it, but no, McBot has the lead. Let's see if he can keep that. Jinxie is another one who should be lining one up on Beyond Jensen with the fresh softs. He is unable to. Tell you, Marshy is keeping the position as McBot goes wide. I don't know if he got a warning for that. I'll have to see later on. Michelangelo now could be a bit weary of FaZe McBot catching up here. Victor Mean goes extremely wide there, and Random Kitty right in the back of Jinx. A little bit of a DRS train here. As so far it has been very clean. Only one DNF, and it's been a very interesting race. Everything has been clean, not much time penalties, and it's very unfortunate, obviously, for Randro. He had no involvement in that incident, and he has got the worst of it. A major investigation is necessary to see what happened and who will get punished, because someone has to get punished there, because Randro is possibly a championship contender this year, and to get taken out in the first race is not good at all for his championship hopes. Michelangelo is keeping the gap in front, so everything is going so far so good for the Haas driver. Everything else, gaps are not really opening up. The yellow flag into Sector 1, I'm guessing that is Kiwa's Games, who has lost it into turn 1. And Lightning Luke is catching up on his mate. Kiwa's Games, he has ERS all burnt. Kiwa's Games is all over the place. so far. Again, there's not much gaps between people. Marshy, it's a real long train from Ryan Curran all the way down to beyond Jensen. It's the longest train we have. Marshy may line up a rules. Marshy's into the pit lane on his 11 lap old mediums. He is probably going to come onto the hard tyre till the end of the race. We'll see how well that can do. McBaugh is starting to gain on Michelangelo, but that's a huge lot of oversteer that we just caught there as looking onto his car. Nothing else really happening down at the back. Lucas Paul is making a slight recovery, but there's no way he's going the rest of the race. So Victor Mean is closing up to Ryan Curran. Victor Mean obviously starting P2. He's onto the hards now, and those hards are definitely wearing a lot less than Ryan Curran's 10 lap old mediums. And I can see a move possibly lining up here for the Alpine driver. Started P2, wants to at least get back onto the podium places after his poor start. At the moment he is just outside in P3. Ryan Curran desperately trying to hold on to a podium place, at least until his pit window opens. So we'll have a quick look at the penalties as we see a yellow flag. It's DMC Ryan Aguirre, and he has a very interesting place, and the safety car is out, which is perfect timing for Michelangelo and horrible timing for Ryan Curran, as now there is a double stack. So Kiwis Games has left the session. I would like him to rejoin, and he is not doing well at all, Kiwis Games, and he may end up dropping the tier 2 if things don't go to plan. It's the second safety car of the race. There was 2 safety cars last night, as Victor Mean did jump Ryan Curran in the pits, which is not what Ryan Curran would have wanted. So everyone has pitted there under the safety car, which, as expected, everyone except Rando was taken. So if we have a quick look at the penalties, Rando was taken as a 3-second penalty, so we can't serve that anyway. Lightning Luke has 3 seconds and Kiwa's Games has 13 seconds. I'm just going to ask Kiwa's Games if he can possibly just retire the car. Not only does he have 18 seconds of penalties, but I think he actually has there. He's retired the car. So now we're just waiting on Twin Gene, who's not having the best of race, the League of Ireland Tier 3 driver. He is currently sitting in P15, but hopefully the safety car restart can fling some hope into him. Michelangelo essentially has the race lead, but has to get by. Rando was taken. Okay, as the safety car most likely will be in this lap as soon as Twin Gene catches up. So here we go. The safety car restarts. The safety car will be in this lap. Rando will lead the way. We'll go back to the tyres and we can see Rando's tyres are a lot different than everyone else's. Everyone else is on the medium or the hard and they are going to the end of the race. It's all when Rando decides to put his foot on the accelerator, which is now, and Michelangelo has got a brilliant reaction to that. And with ERS deploying all the way down this straight, he should line up a move, and he's going to line up a move into turn 1. Late on the brakes, Michelangelo gets the move done as Rando defends from FaZe McBot and everything gets away. So far so clear as the safety car restart. Absolute chaotic. I'll have to find out why. He's gone flying off there out of turn 3. And is it another safety car? Victor Meehan has also had a bit of an issue. But no, green flags, we are good to go. Hopefully till the end of this race. So unfortunate for Ryan Curran. He was having a pretty good race up until then. And I just seen him go flying off, which was very dramatic, into the background. And Michelangelo has gotten a bit of a lead here, and McBot is struggling to get by Rando, but may line up a move here We'll get rid of this because this could be an excellent overtake if he gets it right. FaZe McBot on Rando. It's going to pull to the inside. Behind him is Jinx. I thought it was Emilio. It's Jinx is doing a great job. The tier 2 driver sitting in P4 at the moment and looking for a podium. McBot goes by. Jinx could go by McBot as well. It's going to be 3 wide down the pit straight here. Who is going to get in front? Right now it's Jinx. Late on the brakes, has the inside line. Jinx does take it, but McBot with a lovely switch back, possibly to stick it all the way round the outside. They're still side by side. Jinx has P2 ahead of FaZe McBot, but McBot goes down the inside again into turn 4. They're side by side. Still, as we go into the second sector, they're still trying to stick it side by side. I think McBot has got it done finally, as Lucas Paul still making a bit of a comeback now. McBot in P2, and all this battling is again allowing Michelangelo to get a massive breakaway into P1. Jinx in P3, who obviously got a podium yesterday in the Aston Martin, reserving in Tier 2, and Beyond Jensen is just sitting there in P4, possibly hoping for a mistake, as Rando may be regretting that he did not come into the pits, as he is going to be swarmed by Lucas Paul on the fresh mediums. He will take him on as well as any other driver would. Lucas Paul down the straight of Sector 3. I don't think DRS is enabled yet. Victor Mina has picked up a penalty for multiple warnings. Marshy has dropped back into P13. He was doing good for Mercedes up till then, but I think that could be his race over. Lucas Paul gaining on Rando, fresher tyres, a lot more ERS, as DRS is enabled now, but nothing to make of it so far. Lightning Luke gets a 3-second penalty, and here is the move, surely. He pulls to the inside. Lucas Paul gets the move done fairly easily, but I think Rando going to try a switch back, but as guessing, it's not going to work with tyres that worn and of that compound. So McBot has bridged a bit of a gap between him and Jinx, but has to bridge a massive gap between himself and Michelangelo if he wants to win this race. Michelangelo in prime position here to take the lead as there's yellow flags. Who's slow? It is Mixel, having trouble in the Aston Martin. His teammate is doing okay enough, but he is not having such great of a time. Same with Emilio Robalino. Won the championship last year, but is definitely struggling in that Red Bull. Maybe could just get points at the end of the race. We'll have to see. Michelangelo leads the way down into turn 1 as we have 9 laps remaining of the Bahrain Grand Prix. As there is a yellow flag, it is Marshy. Still has his front wing, but has just lost into turn 13. Marshy he was quality in qualifying, and he has been quality at times here today, but it's just not happening for him. Emilio gets by. Rando is definitely regretting pitting now. He has 9 laps to go and is still on those 16 lap old tyres. Aston Martin will not be scoring any points at all in Tier 1 this weekend, as Mixel picks up another 3-second time penalty. The gap is remaining at 4 seconds between McBot and Michelangelo. Equal tyres, maybe equal performance from both drivers as well. It's going to be a good start for Michelangelo. Here are the penalties. Marshy 8, Mixel 3, Rando 6, Victor Mean. I think that's Victor Mean has had a bit of an off, and it is a safety car. And McBot has not chosen to go into the pits, well, for obvious reasons. Who is? Lightning Luke is taking the gamble. He is coming into the pit lane, most likely for the soft tyres. Now, that is very, very interesting. Marshy also maybe get a chance to catch up, get into the pit lane, onto the softs and catch up. Now this will make the end of the race interesting, but I want to figure out how Victor Meehan did DNF here. This will be interesting because will McBot go for the race win here? So the safety car is in this lap. Michelangelo just goes. He doesn't, he fakes to go. Now he goes. So McBot and Michelangelo have got a very equal restart here. But obviously McBot has the toe. Is he going to send one? He is. He's going to send it. Late on the brakes. Maybe a bit too late. As Michelangelo, with a simple enough switchback, able to keep the position. Everything has been clean so far on this restart, which is all I wanted, to be fair. But what is going to be interesting is these soft runners. How quick is Lightning Luke now on the softs? He's already got by Mixel. Marshy didn't come in. He just continued going. Everything is so good so far. I don't think McBot is going to be far enough back to make a move here. He is getting further away from Jinx, so it will just be these two battling for the lead. Maybe this safety car has blessed McBot, as it has many times this race. Is this the time where he's finally going to make use of it and get up into the lead? He hasn't been into the lead since the incident with Randro. He's just too far back. He's not going to be able to make the move. DRS will be enabled soon, though. Lightning Luke is cruising through the pack at the moment. He is into P5 now. So, Lightning Luke still hasn't got by his teammate Bjorn Jensen. FaZe McBot, as DRS is enabled this lap now. Both of them have equal ERS. McBot, he just doesn't have any overspeed. Lightning Luke has fresher tyres than Bjorn Jensen, but Bjorn Jensen is kind of holding him up here and is not doing him a favour as his teammate. And Lucas Paul has spun out of turn 1. He drops down to 12th, and it will be in no point. Hey, Lucas Paul spins out and is now down to 12th. Lightning Luke still being held up by his teammate Bjorn Jensen. That well could have been maybe one of the AlphaTauris. We'll have to see. Jinxie has been overtaken by Rando, who has maybe gone a bit lucky now because he's back onto the softs and he's back chasing down everyone else. Lightning Luke has battled with Bjorn Jensen. Bjorn Jensen's touched him and he's spun round. Both of them have gone so wrong from... And I would, if I was Lightning Luke, I would be furious as the virtual safety car is out just as Michelangelo was building a bit of a gap to McBot. And I suppose this will not be long at all. There's teammate controversy, there's title contender controversy, and there's midfield controversy all over the field. And we'll have to see how this race plans out, because I'm telling you now, the top 10 at the moment will most likely not be the top 10 later on. There should be reports coming in left, right and centre after this race, because it has been a crazy one. But at the same time, it has been an entertaining one for us to watch. 60 DNFs, 3 safety cars and a virtual safety car. Although it doesn't seem great, definitely was entertaining. As Jinxie and Lightning Luke both come into the pit lane. Lucas Paul gets a 20-second time penalty for speeding under the safety car as we get underway. 20-second time penalty, that is not good at all for Lucas Paul. As It's a time penalty as there's a bit of a battle here just in front between Random Kitty and Emilio. Emilio didn't get DRS off either of them. Both of these on fresh softs. McBot is within DRS, but will he have enough time to overtake? I think it will be the last lap as Lucas Paul retires in the pit lane. So he won't even take 1 point today. He is finished. And I suppose he will not be a happy man, and he has everything. We look to close in on the final few laps here. Five. So far the fastest lap. I don't even know who has the fastest lap at the moment. Lucas Paul's car is coming back onto track. I'm sure they'll just pull to the side, as should be nothing wrong with that. Probably just a yellow flag into turn one, which could be costly for McBox. It means he might not be able to make a move. No, that car's gone. Green flag racing. So he's winning. Same time, I still don't think he's far enough back. Depends how his exit is. He's just maybe got a bit too much curb, and Michelangelo just a bit better off the acceleration. But DRS is enabled this lap. It's the final lap of the race. It's now or never for McBot, as he's gaining heavily and he's gonna go down the inside, and they bang wheels, and Michelangelo does keep the lead, but he's gone a bit wide. McBot has, he's pulled to the right. He's got it. He's in front. But Michelangelo goes down the inside, and Michelangelo spins. And that's surely it. He has to keep his composure now that he doesn't get overtaken by Jinx. McBot gets the move done. McBot is in the lead and has surely won the race. Michelangelo has recovered from his half spin, and he is in P2. Jinx in P3. Rando in P4. And if you think of that, Lightning Luke could have easily have caught up to possibly Jinx and Michelangelo if he wasn't taken out by his teammate down into turn 10. Another major investigation necessary there. But so far it's been a crazy race, as Marshy spins for about the 15th time this race. But it's been a race of controversy. It's been a race of drama. But in the end, it's going to be a race where FaZe McBot, after all the controversy everywhere this race, he gets a move done on the final lap, and McBot wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Michelangelo in second, with Jinx closely behind in third. Randro with P4. Random Kitty will overtake Rando, so will Emilio. The championship winner last year will get P5. Mixel P7 with Bjorn Jensen in P8. Marshy, to be fair, has gotten 2 points so far for Mercedes, and I think it's their only 2 points so far this season. Marshy picks up P9 with Jinxie in P10, and then finally Lightning Luke to finish off. Wow. A crazy race, but in the end it was an entertaining one. We hope you enjoyed that, as I quickly scroll through the race director. The post-race interviews done. Obviously Jinx was on the podium. He did not have a mic, so I think it'll just be, I don't think Michelangelo has a mic either, so I'm pretty sure it'll just be FaZe McBot today. Okay. Hello,
Hello.
FaZe McBot.
Hello.
Well, that was a very chaotic race, to say the
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
I think you're the only person we have for an interview. Michelangelo, I don't think, has a mic, and then Jinx didn't have one yesterday. So we'll get on. We'll just get on with things. So you qualified P4, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough qualifying to be fair. Like I think I got purple sector 1 and 2 and then I validated and then on my next lap I got another purple sector 1 and got blocked. So obviously that was frustrating, but I was able to make it up in the race, so
Yeah, I
that's all
seen
that
that. Yeah,
matters.
you obviously gained 2 positions off the start, and the race start was quite chaotic from
Mm.
from lap 1 all the way to lap 3. What do you think the incident was like there between yourself, Lucas Paul, and Randro?
When was that? Oh yeah.
First
Sure,
three laps.
yeah, I remember that. I've no clue what happened there. Sure, I wasn't even looking back. I'm only just driving straight on, going into the turn, like, and then I see both of them side by side and both of them spin. I actually have no clue what happened. I don't know. I don't think I was involved at any point, because they were both behind me battling. I think it was just kind of more of a racing incident between the both of them.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see with that. Obviously, since that safety car came out, you were kind of screwed over because you had to sit beside the safety car for a whole lap before boxing.
Mm.
And I don't think you got back up into P1 until the final lap. So, what was your problems there?
Well, I have a big main problem is my pedal on my thing is broken. So you might have seen maybe through the lap that I'm still accelerating even when I'm not on the pedal. It's a bit dodgy, and I felt like I was losing time from it. But like the lads are like, very competitive as well. I was finding it hard to get past them, and like they're all good racers.
Yeah, obviously it did take till the last lap, and it was a very dramatic last lap. What were you feeling through that last lap?
Uh, I had somebody in the party anyway. I had an engineer help me, and he was telling me, like, I knew he was going to start derating because he was pushing hard on those last couple of laps. So I just saved my ERS up to get him on the last lap. And that dive bomb that he got is that's none of my fault. That's him only being angry that I got
Yeah,
position off.
we seen that in the stream. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. Obviously, then China next week. I think it's a very controversial track being in
Jesus
the calendar.
Christ,
What do you think?
that's a horrible track. I'd rather watch paint dry than drive it, to be honest.
Well, we'll see how that goes. We'll see if Randro can bounce back or if you will get your second race of the season. You are currently leading the Tier 1 Championship and have really helped out McLaren in the
So,
Constructors. Thanks very much, McBot, for this.
cheers, up.
Alright, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the first round of Tier 1. And we'll see you, I'll see you in this time next week for China Tier 1. Otherwise, you will see Dylan on Friday night for round 2 in China for Tier 2. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And